Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you may be chiming in from around the world. Family, this is the Epic Icons daily training, which we have every week, Sunday through Friday. You can check the Epic Icon Facebook page, and it has a complete schedule of all the dates and times so that you can plug into all the trainings and all the presentations that we have going on every single day. All right. Also, family, if you go to hashtag Epic Icon Daily, you can access all the pre recorded trainings and presentations that are already set up and in a big smorgasbord, if you will, of different things that she's recorded for us. So you can go to, again, the hashtag Epic Icon Daily to get all those recordings. Now, welcome, family. We are going to talk about today how to launch, and this is the quick start to the $500 every 28 days. So now that you are a part of the family, you want to know, how can I eat? And I'm hungry right now, right? You needed that $500 like yesterday. So let's talk about, what do we need to do first. So if you're like me, and Coach JP says anything, my brain goes into the picture, right? Whatever it is she just said. So the first time when she said to me, okay, now we need to get you started. You need to pick your launch dates and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what? So let's talk about, what exactly do you and I need to do to launch? And this is the quick start to the $500 that we said we needed. Well, first, before we get to that strategy, to any kind of plan, we have to know that success starts with being coachable. All right. So, Coach JP, Leslie, Mr. McCovey, um, Coach Max, any of those people, they have things that they're going to tell us to do. If we decided to raise our hand and say, okay, I need you to coach me, show me exactly how to get there, and they give us the instructions, and then we don't want to do them, right? Don't even raise your hand, right? Coach JP will tell you. But success starts with being coachable, and with being coaching allows us to, elevate our potential. Gives us that a hurdle over our development, right? It gives us a head up, right? We're not figuring it out by ourselves. We have someone coaching and mentoring us, letting us know, if did we go right the right way, did we go left when we're supposed to, did we jump over the hurdle the right way, right? And learn some skills that we may be lacking, or sharpening some skills that we already have, right? But also, you have that support. So you're not doing this all alone. Remember, we said we're a family and we're going to work together. All right. So that's exactly what we mean. But you do, from day one, you have to be coachable. All right. So, one of the other things that we also need to do is, now that you are in business for who? Yourself, you're going to go and you're going to figure out a name for your business. Now, Coach JP picked this one, is Blue Lion 4X. So that's why she'll give out that email that says Blue Lion 4X or something to that nature. I got to look at it. But it's something similar. You can go to GoDaddy.com, Vistaprint.com, and so many other apps and things like that are out there that we could even use, that are free, or you can make a logo and create an image, like this, to put make it into your business card or something. So I think this is something that is really important, because now it identifies your business to you. Okay, so it's going to be unique to you, and I think this is going to be really, really cool. So get that, decide on your business name, get you some business cards made, or at least get a digital image that you can now begin to pass on to your future business partners while you're telling them about your business. Okay, because you want to look professional. If you decide to put a picture of yourself on your business card, please make sure it is a professional photo. You don't want a party photo or body parts hanging out and things like that. Okay, so make sure it is a professional headshot. There's Snapchat where I know I don't even have to put on that much makeup, and I can use that. Excuse me. I can use that, and it looks like, I took a professional photo. So you can also use something like just as simple as Snapchat, um, to get your photo out there. But it's so many images and things. So whatever it is you decide, it will be uniquely, attached to you and your personality and what you want people to see, uh, when you're out there putting your business out there. Okay. So, what is the next thing that we need to do when we are getting ready to launch? Well, Coach JP said the first thing that we need to do is set a goal. Okay, you set a goal. How much money do you need to make? Right. So let's say your goal is $500. You need to say, Coach JP, I need that $500 like yesterday. Right. Number two, you need to set the goal date. So if you just say, well, I need that $500, when do you need it? Because you could just leave it hanging out there, and when you actually get it could be 3 years from now. So we need to know before we go to work what we're shooting for. So if you needed it like yesterday, you may say, well, I need this by the end of next week, or I need to have this already coming to me by the end of November. So let's say November 30th. And once you set that goal date, after you set the goal, now you need that affirmation. Okay. Because so a man thinketh, so is he. So you are whatever you think about, right? So if I'm saying I want to get that $500, I'm not going to keep affirming, well, I'm going to get it one day. No, I am happy and grateful that I'm already a founder 500, earning $500 every 28 days on or before your goal date. So if your goal date is next week, I don't know what the date is, you would say that. If it's at the end of November, you would put November there. So I am happy and grateful that I am already a founder 500, earning $500 every 28 days on or before November 30th. Okay. So we have to remember to eat the elephant one bite at a time. So we don't need to get overwhelmed when you look at the compensation plan. Let's say you really need $10,000 a month, but that's not the first goal. You've got to take one little bite or one little step at a time. Okay. So the first order is to get you three and waived, right? Get that fee waived. And then we work toward that first monthly pay amount, which is the $500. All right. So how do you do that? Well, we have to get on board and talk to some friends and family, son, daughter, right? Talk to them, they'll sign up, and then we get our fee waived. And we want to do that within the first 72 hours to 5 days of becoming your very own boss, right? So, because the sooner you do it, the better. And Coach JP said, why should we wait anyway when you can do it today? So you don't have to do it today, but if you want to get started and get money and get yourself in position, let's say by Thanksgiving, you can do it, even though your date may be your goal date may be November 30th. You can reach that goal before November 30th, a couple days before that, say a couple days before Thanksgiving, right? So we have to do this with the quickness. And Coach JP said, no need to wait. We need to have this done within the first 72 hours to 5 days. Okay. So what do we do next? Well, next, after we got those first three people, guess what we're going to do? We're going to think in terms of Vidal Sassoon shampoo. Remember the commercial way back in the day? I used to see it when I was a kid, and it would say, once you get the shampoo and you wash your hair, is going to be so great that you're going to go tell two friends, and those friends will tell two friends, and those two will tell two friends, and so on and so forth. And on the computer screen, just like a Zoom meeting, first you'll just have a couple of squares up there. The next thing you know, the TV screen had a million faces on there, right? Because the first lady went out and helped what? Two people get their hair up and shiny and healthy and everything that Beta Assassin does, right? We're just going to do the same thing, but only we're going to think in terms of three. So when we help ourselves move to the three and free, right? We want to help everybody else do the same thing. So all of those three that just got their came aboard, we're going to help them get their three, and then we're going to help those nine do the same exact thing. And when we do that, our business structure or team structure will now be like one is going to have four, leg two is going to have four, leg three is going to have four. And that gives a total, it's going to be 444. So if you remember on the compensation plan, it says to have $500, we need 442. Remember that? So here, when we focus on just helping all of the three bring their three, we end up overshooting of whatever mark we're trying to hit. So here you have two extra people in that third leg. Those two extra people can be counted toward the next pay grade, which is $1,000. Okay. So looking at this compensation plan, where is it that you want to be, right? And let's go to work and help you get there. So if it's the $500, you pick the $500, you need 442. We focus on everyone getting three, your team structure is going to be 444. But if you are right there and you have 10 people and we help each of those nine people get their three, guess where we're going to be? We're going to be at 30. And once you're at the 30 mark, you're going to be making $1,000 a month. So $1,000 a month, you hurry up, get your three, and we go to work and help those 10 people that we just brought aboard. Well, actually, we have 12, remember? So we help those 12 get their three. And when we do that, we end up with having 30 people. Well, we'll have over 30 people. So your team structure will end up being 13, 13, 13. And if you see, at 13, 13, 13, we're at the $1,000 mark. Then you'll be getting $250 a week. So if you say you need the $500 right now, then we just continue to help people until the end of the year. Where do you think you could end up? But we have to act now. Just like, we want our friends and family to act now so they can come aboard and we can help them get in position. We got to help ourselves as well. Okay. So, but we have to know what we're doing and how to do it. And this is the reason why we have to start right so that we can end right. You understand? Okay. So once we do that, we look at this compensation plan and we figure out, tell Coach JP where you want to go. We're going to come up with the plan to get there. And this is pretty much like a lottery ticket, Leslie says. When you look under the balance requirements, it tells you the recipe to get there. So just to recap, what are we going to do? We're going to go and we're going to set the goal, right? Once we set the goal, we're going to set a goal date, right? After we set the date, we're going to work toward getting those people by first getting our three. And we're going to focus on the power of three. And that's what we're going to do with every single person that comes aboard. Okay. So, what do we need to do next? Well, when you focus on the power of three, you need to make sure you understand that structure and that pay structure. So why isn't it 444, Rhonda? Well, remember, Epic has that pay scale 40, 40, 20. And if your people, whoever it is that you brought aboard, if your team members are not structured right, you won't get the $500. Okay. And this is very important. Some companies have their compensation plan well each leg is an equal amount. It could, if it's three, it'd be a third, a third, a third, right? If it's two, it'd be 50% in the first one, 50% in the second one. But here it's in a structure of 40, 40, 20. And what that means is when we focus on the power of three, remember I said we're going to overshoot, we end up having more than enough. All right, so remember Coach JP told us, get out that list. You're going to get your phone, right? And we're going to talk to our cousins, our moms, the dads, the friends, the family, some of those people that need money, some of those 42 million people that filed for unemployment. So once you come aboard, just to give you a snapshot of what it's going to look like when you become an Epic IBO, right? You want to become an Epic IBO, independent business owner, by paying the $99.99. And when three of the friends and family came aboard, you're going to upgrade to the $25. Remember that? So you're going to go through your phone. Coach JP is going to say, when you're setting that goal date, remember, she said, well, we're going to launch and I need you to do a phone dump. I needed to talk to some people, but we're going to help you. So don't even worry about that. And we're going to get in touch with your social media, right? Talk to people from your Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. We're going to do some launch calls. That's just a phone call talking about how great this is, just like you may have had. And we're going to talk to some people face to face or maybe through the Zoom, right? So once three people have said yes, and we've, gone through some of those platforms together, you're going to be three and free or three and waived, right? So you paid that $125 and now you don't have to pay that $100 a month for your fee, right? Until you begin to make money. Now, some people have said, well, oh my gosh, I got to pay money every month. Yeah, yes, you do. Why? Because one, you're investing in yourself. And if you don't want to pay that, we need to do some work. And this is what it's going to look like. So now we're shooting for that $500 every 28 days. I brought on my son, my daughter, and my dad, right? These first three people. So you could start with your own immediate family. We can talk to your mom, your dad, your uncle, your grandma, your grandpa, the mailman, your nail tech, people that you are already close to and that you already do business with. But once those three people are now here with us, guess what we're going to do? We're going to help them do the same thing. So now that my son, my daughter, and my dad came, or your cousin is Lauren, we got Jason and Kimberly, they're my family members, but they want to be three and free as well, and then eventually get the $500. So I want to get them to the $500. And the first way that I get myself there is I'm going to keep talking to family members, maybe Lauren's, some of her friends, and we're going to help her get to the three and wave. So we're going to talk to three. Then we're going to take Jason, we're going to do the same thing. Then we're going to talk to Kimberly and we're going to do the same thing, right? So after each person has their three, now I'm making $500. And that is all we're going to do with every single person that comes aboard. Okay, family? So if you have any questions, please drop them down in the chat. And this is just the first order of pay. And if you take it a step further, and these three people down here that we found on social media, we went to had a social event, and there were some people we just met on the elevator at the grocery store. It could be anybody that you know from anywhere. You could already know them, or it could just be a stranger, right? So we're going to use all these platforms, and somewhere there's someone that's going to raise their hand and say, hey, add me in, I need that, and me too, right? So that's how we focus on that $500. And once you're working toward your goal, Coach JP always says, if it's meant to be, that it's up to me, right? And what that means is, as a leader, as your own boss, right? Whatever it is you hope to achieve, it's not up to anybody else. It's up to who? You, right? So if it's meant to be, she also says she don't want to hear us saying that our team didn't do something, or this person didn't do this or that. It doesn't matter. Your pay is up to you, right? Remember that disclaimer that we always tell everybody? We have to abide by the same thing. So if you expect to reach the $500, $1,000, or whatever it is you're shooting for, no matter where you're working, not even just here. If it's meant to be, it's up to me, right? So we have to move out our own way and not complain and get it done by any means necessary, because that's what Coach JP instructs us to do. Now, what else do we need to do? Well, number 5 says mindset. If it is up to me, if it is to be, it is up to me. So you got to decide in your mind that you will go and onboard 10 to 12 people. Why? Because we're going to overshoot. Coach JP teaches us we are never going to shoot for the exact number, right? So if you focus on the power of 3, we will always be a little bit over. In some cases, the overage is substantial, right? So we have to first decide in our mind that we're going to go and onboard these people ourselves, regardless of any team members or any other people. All right, because we're working toward our own goals. B, how? We're going to make a list of 70 to 100 names. And where are we going to get these names? Well, you have a lot of people in your phone. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. You have people on your social media. You have people, LinkedIn. And let's say if you have kids, there are people that we know in the Little League group. There are people that we know, from church or that we work with, or just our own immediate family, our immediate cousins and people like that, son, daughter, nephews, and them, right? The people that you would go hang out with if you're going to have a family gathering. We want to build our families up, right? So you're going to reach out to some family. You don't even have to go outside of your immediate family, but we want a list of 100 names. Why? Because we're trying to overshoot and we're trying to get to a certain residual amount of money. And once we lock that in and we overshoot, hey, you're going to be set, right? And we need to know, see the what. What you will do is call and invite. So the how is we're going to first decide in your mind that you're going to do the work, right? And then you're going to make a list of 70 to 100 names. And then we're going to call and invite each of those people to a presentation or call, something like this, a Zoom. If it was better outside, we'll probably do what's called a PBR, private business uh, reception, where you have like a coffee, what do you call it? A coffee party, coffee conversation at your house or something, where you just invite some guests, you share the information, right? And they make a decision right then and there. So that's how we do that. Well, I don't know, you telling me to go friends and family and that stuff, but girl, I don't talk to people. I know. I used to say the same thing. And Coach JP said, baby girl, you're gonna get this ultimate memory jogger that Eric Worre has out there. And you're going to follow these steps, and it's going to jog your memory on potential people that we can talk to. So as you go through the exercise, you're just going to write it down, right? You're going to write down, and as you begin to go through those steps of the things that are going to jog your memory, it's going to help you remember different people that you can talk to. So we never have to run out of people. And there's also other different ways where we can get in contact with people that you may not already be talking to. And but that's not the first order of business, because that's for us skilled people, and but we're going to learn it, right? So once we have made that list, if any of you have ever really listened to Coach JP, she says we have to do the math. It is in the numbers, and we have to know the numbers, right, in order to find that ratio of success. And sometimes we'll look at the numbers and it may scare you a little bit or freak you out, but just know people in the sports arena, baseball, football, basketball, they have a pay ratio just like we do. And they can miss 8 out of 10 times. Now, that's not a very good success rate. If you ask me, I don't know if I want anything where it's only 8 out of 10. You hear what I'm saying? But on a larger scale, that's still huge, even though they miss 8 out of 10 and they still get paid. So it's the same thing here. It's going to be hit or miss, right? So to speak. But based on the numbers, Based on the numbers, we can still come out on top. Now, if you understand also, right, the math, we're going to do A, just like Coach JP said, she said call 100 people, right? So when we call these 100 people, and I can attest to this, 20 people are probably going to tell us to kick rocks, bad number, or you're going to have to call them back, right? We may, because all 100 people are not going to be interested. Okay. It is a numbers game. But if we call 100, we're going to end up in a certain area of ratio that's going to be still a benefit for us. So, A, call 100. Some are going to tell you to kick rocks to about 20 people. They're not going to come. So we invited 80, right? 65 of those 80 will say, sure, I'll be on. And then 55 of them that have confirmed, right? They'll be on, but 10 of them going to forget. About 10 people or so not going to show up. So then once the webinar starts, you got about 40 people, right? And after that, it's going to drop off to about 10 because some people are going to hang up. They're just not going to be interested for whatever the reason, right? So after you expose 30 people, right? Because if 10 people hung up, if we have 40 people on the webinar, that left us with 30 people that saw it. Out of the 30 people that saw it, 10 to 12 sign up. Why? Because Coach JP says all the time it's a numbers game. She also says that what's going to happen is 1/3 are going to stay here, 1/3 are going to leave, and 1/3 going to incubate. Not going to do nothing, right? So we might not be able to get in touch with those people later or now, but if we focus on the process, right? Call the 100, we can end up here on the first go round. All right. So that is very important. So number 7, which is PS3. Well, what is that? It's not a video game, right? It sounds like the game system. But A, that means we're going to pique the interest. You're going to send scripts out there. We have tons of scripts and things in the group that we can use when we're making phone calls and going on social media, making posts that capture the interest of a person. And once they're interested, we're going to do B, we're going to show the plan, expose them to the information by number 1, we could do a private webinar, which is best. Coach JP recommends that. That's called a one-on-one. Number 2, we can have a team webinar, which is the second best. So sometimes you may not have time to do a one-on-one, and a person can just get on a team one, right? And that's why we have a whole full schedule of all that. And it's very wise that we get in the habit of plugging into the social media platforms that we use for the group, because Coach JP puts a lot of information in there and it'll guide you every step of the way, and you'll have everything just right there that you can just plug into. You don't have to figure it out, okay? But you do have to plug in. And also, you can take some of those pre-recorded presentations and trainings and things that we have when you go to the HashCon Epic Icon Daily, and you can send some of that stuff to your friends and family. There's also a few videos and things in your back office that are really short that you can send. So you want to explain the power of 3 and different things like that. If it's someone that's into the trading, there's a video, short video. I forget how many minutes it is, but it's short and it explains the foreign exchange. Or you want a quick way to explain the power of 3 and how we make money by talking to our friends and family by using a short video. You can use those, okay? And all that stuff is tools that's already set up for us to use until you one day learn how to do them yourself. But even if you never learn, we have an extensive uh, what do I want to say? We have an extensive uh, list. That's all I'll say. List of videos and things that we have from our team and that Coach JP has posted that we can use. And also, a 3-way call is very, very powerful. So after a webinar, you can say, "Hey, I want to introduce you to my coach and mentor. Is that okay? You got a couple minutes?" Right? Or they got questions. You can say, hang on 1 second. My mentor told me if you ask me that particular question, to call them. You have a couple minutes, and then you get Coach JP on the phone, right? And when you get on the phone, you want to introduce Coach JP, lift her up, and then you move out of the way, right? Move out of the way. And we have a whole separate presentation on that as well in the group, making it doing a three-way call, so you'll know what that looks like. But it's simple. We just have to follow the process once we know what the process is, okay? And this is the strategy in which we're going to take. So what's next? Well, what does duplicate mean? Well, duplicate means to make a massive success list. That's what we're going to do, that 100 names or more. Launch your own business within 24 hours of you joining, right? So that's why Coach JP always says, hey, you need to call me right away. If you are new, you need to call me right away. And this is the process. And every time your friends and family and someone comes aboard, we're just going to duplicate this process. So we're going to make that list. You're going to pick that date, right? Make that goal. Introduce all your new members to a leader, which is your three-way call. Schedule your new members launch call. They're going to do the same thing that you were told to do. Plug all new members into the training. So you have to plug into the Facebook group so you can get the full schedule. And Coach JP always has a schedule up and all kinds of other tools to stay in touch with the team, so you'll know what's happening, that you can connect with your calendar. We have the Band app that you can sign up with. We got the Facebook group as well. Um, Also, text Coach JP. She has her text telephone information in the group. All right. And also, number seven, you want to mind your own business. That means you're going to attend to your own stuff. Do what it takes for you to grow your business. And therefore, then we can help other people do the same. Because whoever comes aboard, if they see you don't do anything, they're going to do the same thing. If they see you maybe not going into the group, not getting your information, not making comments, not celebrating other people, you know, they're going to suck that up and they're going to copy the same thing, right? So we want to be better leaders than that. So we want whoever it is that when they come aboard on day one, we want to be professional. We want to be the leader that Coach JP is training us to be and follow this system. So no matter if it's you on day one, you have a system that you can follow that makes you look like you've been here forever, like literally. And that's why these tools are very, very powerful when we follow the system as a team and we all run together. OMG, we just elevate ourselves that much more higher, and we do it together, right? Okay, so number eight, after a week, you are no longer new. Because after a week, if we work the way Coach JP teaches us, you'll be uh, teaching other people. Why? Because all we're going to do is follow this system and duplicate it. And after a week, 7 days, you should know this enough just to pass on those first quick start elements. Okay. So, what is next? So I'm not sure what's happening to my slides, family, but what is next is, oh, that is it. We're done. I'm so used to talking forever in a day that, yeah. Sometimes I don't know when I'm done. But family, that is what we need to do with the quick start training, the process that we need to just take a look at it, ingest it, marinate on it. But we need to put action into that ASAP. So if you haven't done it already, go into the group, hashtag Epic Icon Daily, and get the video. We're going to post it in the group. And just call Coach JP, call your upline. Okay. Somebody told me one time, closed mouths don't get fed. So if you have a question, please reach out to the leadership. I'm always available. If I can help out, I'll do that as well. And let's get this show on the road. Okay. Family, that is all. Okay. We want to see each other on the beaches of the world, but we want to see each other on the bank because that's what it's all about. All right. This particular training is over, and I will talk to you guys later on. I talk. Peace out.